So my family's one of the richest in the city, but there's this other family, the Capulets. We're sworn enemies, we, the Montagues, and the Capulets. We have fights in the streets often. There's something about their house that I love, I truly love. Their daughter, Juliet. She's as beautiful as anything. We are forbidden to love each other. It's so frustrating! Why can't our parents just understand that we want each other and nothing else? This love between us would be able to end the feud between our families, but they do not see it, nor do they want to. To make it worse, her father is making her marry a lord, Paris. She's being forced to marry him. So what does she do? She goes and gets a vial of poison for Friar Lawrence without telling me. It wasn't even real poison. It would just make her sleep for a long time to make it seem like she was dead, just so she wouldn't have to marry Paris. But she did not tell me this. I thought she was actually dead. I made for Verona with great haste. I thought she was truly dead. It gave me great sorrow to think that my one true love had died. So I myself went to buy a vial of poison. I went to her burial site, kissed her one last time, and downed the vial of poison just as she awoke. But alas, it was too late. I slowly died as I watched her awake. She wept over my dead body. Why had she not just told me? It would have been so much easier. But then, what did she do next? She made it worse. Instead of living out the rest of her days, she kisses me, takes a knife in her own hands, then takes her life. And that is how the Montagues and Capulets feud ended, not in marriage like I had hoped, but in the death of me and fair Juliet.
Juliet is a young woman, married to the love of her life, Romeo. She grew up in a rich family, always getting what she wanted. She gets hurt a lot, and also loved a lot, which plays a huge factor in why she is the person she is. Juliet is an emotional, depressed, and sensitive person. Why is she like this? Because she has been through so much in her lifetime. First of all, she was forced to marry Paris, and this is after she believed herself to be married to Romeo forever. Juliet has certainly been through a lot, which is one of the main reasons she is such a sensitive person. She can't ever be too sure about things because so many things have happened to her and turned around. Like the marriage thing with Paris and Romeo. She's forced to marry Paris and then finds Romeo, then Paris, then Romeo. Juliet is also a very loyal person. She follows what is said and attempts to stay out of trouble. Romeo is the main cause of her being such an emotional person. He died and left her leaving in the stranded and depressed. Not that he can fully control that, but still. Tillot is another reason, because he did everything to upset and hurt Romeo, which upsets Juliet almost as much as Romeo. In the play, both Romeo and Juliet go through a ton of different upsetting situations that they both think opposite of what actually happens in the end. Like they are both at the Capulet ball, having fun, and then they meet each other. Then they kiss and fall in love, until they find out that they are enemies, so they just kind of leave each other. Then Romeo sneaks up into her balcony where they confess their love for each other and, make love. It pains me to see that the two had to die for the family feuds to end. I wish that their marriage would have been enough, like I had thought it would.
Can you believe what has become of this innocent teenage lover? The unforgiving and power-seeking world around him developed his identity. The romantic and emotional Romeo all began when he fell in love with a girl named Rosalind. To his misfortune, she did not feel the same burning passion back towards him. This left Romeo heartbroken as he explained himself to his friends. But then luck was on his side for what seemed like less than a second. A servant from the Capulet residence encountered him in the streets and invited him to a party that they would be hosting. Upon his arrival, he met a girl named Juliet and engaged in a dance with her. It was love at first sight. After dancing, they kissed. When Romeo departed, he was informed that she was a Capulet, part of a family that had been in a feud with his family for generations. This forbidden love turned Romeo into a lovesick and romantic person. Romeo was also forced to become a brave young man after this life-changing moment. His deep desire to see his love Juliet drove him to encounter on risky trips to her residence as well as lethal duels with fellow men. Right after the ball, Romeo snuck up to Juliet's balcony in order to confess his love to her and exchange a vow to get married. Then, when he does marry Juliet, he sneaks into my cell to do it in complete privacy. They wouldn't dare tell their families. Near the end of the story, Romeo partakes in a battle to the death with Paris. This completes Romeo's venture in the becoming of a brave soul. Romeo's bad luck reaches its peak as he becomes the physical state we all eventually will be, but at far too young of an age. Juliet had taken a potion to fake her death so she wouldn't have to marry Paris, but Romeo was not informed of the stunt that they were pulling off, and truly believed her to be dead like the rest of Juliet's family. This then caused Romeo to buy an instantly lethal poison and take it as he lay down with the supposed corpse he loved. A simple misunderstanding led him to this physical state. This short romance with Juliet caused Romeo to create his true identity.
Bye, Brayden.
Do it.
Do it.
What would you do if I did up with buckles?
Oh shit. Oh.
Ah, the pussy. What?
Okay, and no, you're not using that for the.
Good job.
You gonna say it?
Black Bear Report out.
That's what I was pulling.